best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here in Little Rock, Arkansas, the action continues as DiBella Entertainment, in association with WallStreet.com Sportsbook and Casino, Everlast, Jim Beam, and BetSBG.com, and Don King Productions present the co-featured bout of the evening, sanctioned by the Arkansas State Athletic Commission. The three judges at ringside scoring this contest will be Sonny Ingram, Oscar Perez, and Russ Paramore, and for the 36th time working in a world title bout, your referee Elmo Adolph. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Little Rock, Arkansas, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Junior Flyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with red, and weighing in at 107.5 pounds. His professional record, 28 victories, including 23 knockouts with only one defeat. From Arbolete, Colombia, here is the challenger, BEIBIS Mendoza. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trimmed with white. His weight, 108 pounds. His professional record, 32 victories, including 21 knockouts, with only 2 losses and 1 draw. From Managua, Nicaragua, here is the reigning and defending WBA Junior Flyweight Champion of the World, Rosendo Bufalo Alvarez.
That's all I need is one out here, okay?
In this ring.
All right, gentlemen, I gave you instructions earlier. You know what I expect of you. Shake hands, come out boxing.
Alvarez says the one thing he learned from the last fight, I have to pressure him more than I did, so look for Alvarez to try to get inside of Mendoza. Mendoza, despite the fact that he's 4 inches taller, he too will try to smother Alvarez.
You know, Mendoza sometimes refers to himself as a boxer, but he really means boxer puncher in every sense of the word.
23 knockouts in his 28 wins. Interestingly enough, he said when we talked to him, Al, that he learned more from the 1 loss than he did from the 28 wins. I thought that was a pretty savvy comment.
When you're in against a fighter as skilled as Alvarez, you're going to learn. Of course, he's a little younger than Alvarez. By the way, he told us he does not expect any a repeat of low blows, which happened in their first fight, even though the second, as we pointed out, also had its share of bending of the rules. Mendoza not concerned about that.
Expect 1,000,000 punches to be thrown in this fight. A few punches thrown, not many landed thus far. Wild right hand from Alvarez.
A low blow from Mendoza. Some distractions for Alvarez before this fight. As they tried to make this fight, he is with another promoter. This fight was in effect bought from the other promoter. It was supposed to be in March last night. And some issues for Alvarez that could distract him a little bit in this fight. He's been very inactive because he's distressed with the contract he has with Don King, and in fact he feels that he's been too inactive.
Alvarez says, when I'm right, nobody can beat me. So I guess the question is, will he be right?
Yeah, and he's been mostly, he is correct about that. Only Ricardo Lopez, who beat him in a 12-round decision, in a very close 12-round decision, maybe could make the statement that he would beat Alvarez, but it was a great fight. And I'll tell you what about this first round now. We talked about Mendoza feeling confident. He has fought a very, very good first round.
He has. Not a lot of damage being done by either man. Another thing about the Lopez fight before we get up, he dropped Lopez. First time Lopez been knocked down in his career.
And the first fight ended with Lopez when they had a clash of heads. They went to the scorecards, and in the WBC, the fighter who's not cut loses a point, which is a strange rule.
Strange.
Yeah, it always has been a bad one, and that partially cost Alvarez his decision against Lopez. And then in the rematch, it was a very close, hotly contested 12-round decision, split decision.
Why would it not surprise me that the WBC would have a rule like that?
Well, that one is not appropriate.
No, the breaking plate.
In fact, I think there's the same rule in the WBA, so it's not unique to the BC. End of the first round, a very close round. Either man with a decided edge.
Ahí está bien, no importa.
Está bien.
Estás muy bien, Rosendo, estás muy bien. No dejes de estar activo todo el tiempo.
You're doing good. Take your time. Give him a little water.
Pero no me deje funcionar la mano izquierda, papá.
Throw your left hand.
Cuando cambie para los lados, ¿ok?
Move side to
Cambie para los
side.
lados por los golpes.
Bájate la mano, bájate la mano.
Cruza, ¿ok?
Raise your hands.
Ok, viejo.
Give him some water.
No te pares.
Just be ready.
Round number 2, that was Joe Guzman, our interpreter in the corner, interpreting what was being said in each man's corner, where Spanish, of course, the language of choice.
Alvarez, by the way, managed by his wife, Anna. Both of them are managing, handling boxers in Nicaragua.
Yeah, he's got his own stable of fighters there, his wife. Interesting, we've had a couple of fighters on the card tonight, managed by their wives. Jermaine Freddy is the other.
Needless to say, during in the 80s, Alvarez served in the army in Nicaragua, and of course that was the war of the Sandinistas, and everyone that lived in Nicaragua during that time saw some horrific things.
Good right hand there by Alvarez, popped in, and he said it kind of taught him his motto in the ring, and that is kill or be killed. He said he saw enough of it.
Well, now Alvarez is getting nailed with some big shots, taunting Mendoza a little bit, but nevertheless, he's the one that's taking the punches right now.
Mendoza not allowing Alvarez inside. Now he gets inside when he gets Mendoza on the ropes, but he spins away quickly. Almost a clash of heads there.
Rosendo Alvarez is the more unorthodox of the two fighters, and of course you can see that. Mendoza much more of a technician. Alvarez wins, though he is a decent technician, he wins by imposing his will on the other fighter, being very aggressive, landing punches from different angles. Right now, though, it's Mendoza's technique that's winning this fight.
Good left hand by Alvarez there, though. You can see how Alvarez would be in a fight with a lot of headbutts because he kind of ducks in when he right there, like right there.
Yep. Almoedov gives him a warning about that. Mendoza has used his jab so effectively in this fight so far in just these first 2 rounds.
Jab has been a very effective weapon, as you said, for Mendoza. It's a good sharp jab, too. He doesn't just show it. He sticks it out there pretty good.
And it's helped him set up the right hand and that uppercut. Great effort by Mendoza in his first 2 rounds.
There's a right hand by Alvarez. More punches by Mendoza, but Alvarez has gotten a couple in this one. There's a right hand by Mendoza. And they continue after the bell and barking at each other and still barking at each other. More action after the round.
Would you call this a rivalry?
Yeah, I would say. Right now, let's go to Chuck Zito. Chuck.
I'm here with my dear friend and great fighter and 5-time world champion, Johnny Tapia. Johnny, what do you think of the fight so far?
It's good, Chuck. It's good. They're both getting it on. You know, got the little young ones coming up, so he's a hell of a champion. Let's see what he does now, Chuck.
We just had action, a little action here at the end of the fight. What did you think of the Manfredi fight? Did you think it was a good call or was it stopped too early?
That was a good call. You know, when the fighter starts getting slugged with every shot that Freddie threw, he was really hurting him, so the ref did a good job.
Johnny, when can we expect to see you in action again?
Well, Chuck, to tell you the truth, I'm hoping in June to get back in the gym. Everything else is going good now with my life. Taking it one day at a time and see what happens in June, Chuck.
Okay, thank you, Johnny. Thank you for being ringside with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Johnny Tapia, a friend of all of ours, and it's good to see Johnny back here and seemingly happy.
Well, there have been troubled times for him in the last 6 to 8 months, and again, we all wish him the best in life as well as inside the ring. We saw the passions flare at the end of that last round, and I personally think also some frustration on the part of Rosendo Alvarez. He is not as sharp early in this fight as he would like to be. They both had layoffs, we acknowledge that. I think there may be some other distractions for Alvarez as well, and he's going to need very quickly to get himself back into this fight as best he can.
You can really, though, and again, I don't want to be redundant when I say this, but you can really see the danger of a headbutt in this fight because Mendoza, because he's taller, he's got to duck down, and Alvarez ducks down and then comes up when he comes in. Third round, 12-round flyweight championship of the world.
Since his loss to Alvarez, Mendoza has put together 2 very good wins. And he said those wins were important to him because it got him really back on track. And I think he of course, is happier to be fighting Alvarez than Alvarez is to be fighting him. But for Alvarez, it's just repeating again, even though he's already the champion. For Mendoza, it's a chance to win that title back.
That's absolutely right. You can tell, despite the words between the two at the end of the last round, there's a lot of respect there. I mean, they're fighting like they each respect the other's power.
And even before the fight, while they were both confident, they both acknowledged that the other man is superb.
He's taken on the shoulder mostly.
This fight has been fought primarily in the center of the ring and at long range, and that obviously benefits BEIBIS Mendoza. He's the technician, he's the guy with the long jab, he's the one with the straighter punches. So for Rosendo Alvarez, he would like to be on the inside, maybe turning this into a little bit more of a brawl.
The jab of Mendoza, though, is really not allowed that. Neither man able to do much business in this third round. Well, here is what these two are fighting for, the WBA Flyweight Championship belt. And the size of that belt almost as big as the guy who's going to win it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just schlepping it around is going to be hard for those guys. But they are men who really are at the top of their weight division.
Flyweight weight division, of course, 108 pounds.
Start throwing combinations. Keep throwing combinations. Stay in the inside. Don't give him a chance. Just keep going.
I didn't want to talk over there.
This is round 4.
Good right hands by Mendoza. He is able to keep Alvarez on the outside for the most part of this fight. He's been very effective. Alvarez, for his part, he's 32 years old. One of the things that this inactivity has done to distress him is he knows he's only got so much time to make things happen. He'd like to fight for a couple more years, he said. Maybe get 6 more title defenses in and then call it a day. Of course, that's presuming that he can defend his title.
Mendoza's still kind of dictating the tempo here in this fight.
Totally. He is, he's been a great ring technician and has used the jab to keep the fight on the outside, has mixed in some straight right hands, some very effective uppercuts. Neither man has been able to really go to the body as much as they would like. But if the fight continues to be fought from the outside, you have to give Mendoza a huge edge.
Yeah, he's scoring a lot of points with his jab. In fact, I think it's the jab that's been winning every round for him. He's drawing a warning from pulling his head down.
When he can get on the inside, Alvarez can throw punches like that left uppercut he just landed. But he can't stay there long enough.
Mendoza wisely keeping him in the center of the ring. Good double left hand by Mendoza. Right hand by Alvarez. Counter left by Mendoza. Mendoza, for the most part, Alvarez missing for the most part. Mendoza landing.
You know, it's a mixed bag for Mendoza. He's winning this round by staying in there and fighting from time to time, but he also puts himself in harm's way. But I'll tell you what, the combinations from Mendoza are impressive, and the variety of punches he's throwing is what's making that special. There isn't a punch he hasn't used on a regular basis in this fight.
It stays like this is going to start to frustrate him. Although Alvarez, there was a little headbutt. Alvarez is complaining actually about Mendoza holding him.
I got an accidental headbutt, okay?
Cut is from an accidental headbutt. You might have heard Alvarez say that.
Gee, that's never happened before with these two fighters. We look at where the clash of heads we believe occurred. And Barry has pointed out that we expected it to happen. Yep, there it was, and there was Alvarez covering it with his glove. Luckily, it's on the top of his head, a place where you would never anticipate that stopping this fight.
Cuts like that, though, do have a tendency to bleed quite a lot. So this is round 5. In my opinion, Al, Mendoza's done enough to win every round so far.
He's really been in control of this fight, and you can make a strong case for him winning just about every round. In the last round, he started to land some pretty good power punches as well.
Step back, step back.
In this junior flyweight division, along with Ricardo Lopez, of course, these are two of the best guys you will find. And there are many good fighters down there in this weight division. Not all that, especially American fans, are familiar with, but every time you see people challenge for championships, they're good.
And they always provide action fights, too.
Oh, let's get out of there. Hold on, no punch. Let's go. Get out of there. All right, no punch. Get out. Get out. Break it clean.
Again, they're cutting back the head, bleeding, but it's not any kind of cut that would cause the fight to be altered in any way, even though there's a lot of blood.
You know, Mendoza told us before the fight he thought he gave too much respect to Alvarez in the second fight, not being punching aggressively enough. Well, I don't think he's done that in this fight. He's boxed, but he has never failed to throw impressive punches that would keep Alvarez off him. Mendoza, so while Alvarez was disqualified in the first fight for low blows, it's been Mendoza in this fight that has thrown many questionable punches down there, and Alvarez has given them a second warning and is really looking very carefully at where Mendoza throws those body shots. That would be the irony of irony if Mendoza got in trouble for that.
Yeah, it would be, and also it would be a real turning point. The fight could possibly be a turning point. Because all of a sudden, you basically pick up 2 rounds, assuming you win that round. Score 10-8 Good right hand by Alvarez, best punch of the fight.
And it happened when, for a moment, he had Mendoza against the ropes, which he hasn't very much in this bout. But Mendoza coming back right now to show he wasn't hurt.
Much better round, I thought, for Alvarez. So you can see this right hand by Alvarez.
He has occasionally landed some overhand rights. This one might be the best when he had him against the ropes. Slapped a little bit with it, but nevertheless, it pushed the head back of Mendoza and it caught him in an awkward spot.
So we're at the start of round 6. Put these fighters in excellent condition. That would not appear to be a factor, even though they both had quite a layoff. Left hand by Alvarez, one missed, one got there.
We have not seen Alvarez throw any combinations. He's been limited to mostly one punch, sometimes 2. They use the overhead rights like that, and then he tries to throw the left hook, but it doesn't get there. I do think, even though there's a height and a reach differential, that what Alvarez needs to do is jab his way in more, instead of looping right hands and trying to jump in.
Yeah, it's been tough. Mendoza's been able to spin out of there. Alvarez has never really had an opportunity to throw more than one punch at a time when he has got it.
Alvarez is fighting this fight as if he expects it to be a fight fought on the outside of the center of the ring, not as if he wants it to be a fight in which he pushes Mendoza back against the ropes. And so Mendoza is happy to take that and work with it.
All right, you're all right.
Mendoza, not a powerful punch.
You know, we've talked about refereeing. Elmo Adolph in this fight has not been overly active, and that's good. He hasn't tried to impose his will on this fight, even when they have been on the inside. inside and try to make something happen. But in truth, Mendoza has fought pretty well in that posture.
I thought in that particular exchange, he got the better of him. This is where Alvarez wants to fight. Again, Mendoza wisely doesn't let himself get caught on the rope, spins it back to the middle of the ring.
And then holds on until Elmo Adolph steps in.
Left hand by Alvarez. It's got another one of those very difficult fights to score.
Well, we're at the halfway point, and I think a dramatic edge for Mendoza. And I would believe that he's going to have to make something happen in Alvarez.
No está robando el tiempo, tiene que ser más rápido, coge aire. Coge aire. Coge aire fuerte. Mira, papá, estamos quedando en la trampa. Doble ya, derecha, doble gancho. Pero hacia
Throw a hook.
Baja con este golpe y mete arriba, ¿ok?
Come right over.
Ok.
Breathe.
No te me quedes.
Don't stay there. Just get out the way. Faces and guns. Get some air.
That's exactly what he's done, really, is he has managed to stay out of harm's way for the most part, used the jab, dictated the tempo of the fight, kept it in the middle of the ring.
You know, the proof that we're watching two terrific fighters is that Mendoza's only lost once in his career with 28 wins, and that was to this man, who's a terrific fighter. And this man has only lost twice in his career, once to the great, and I emphasize great, Ricardo Lopez, and once only by being disqualified against the man he's facing right here. So we see these are the two really among the cream of the crop in this junior flyweight division.
That's absolutely right.
They've beaten everybody else that's been put in front of them.
Really powerful shots thrown. The man has really been able to double up very much. Alvarez with 1-0.
But when the major combinations have come, they've mostly come from Mendoza. But in the last couple rounds, he hasn't been as effective. So like another low blow by Mendoza. He's got to be very careful because Adolph may think about taking away a point pretty soon.
Alvarez is also starting to get inside a little bit more.
And the jab of Alvarez, there you see it. But, you know, Alvarez starting to land the jab, but not using it as a tool to get on the inside. He's throwing it and then stopping.
Stepped on his foot. There might have been a headbutt there as well.
There was a clash of heads, and I don't know if there was a cut on Mendoza because of it. Oh, yes. Shucks.
Left eye.
That's too bad. Well, hopefully it's not in a terrible spot.
It looks more as though it's alongside the eye. And I think that was caused by one or the other stepping on the other's foot.
Of course, this shades of the fight Alvarez had with Ricardo Lopez. And now look at that cut. Now they would go to the scorecards.
I got you.
It did not appear to be
I just want to see
that
where
serious,
it's at.
the cut.
We okay. Okay. I got an accidental headbutt.
It's in a bad spot, Barry. It's right on the lid. Yeah,
it is. I thought it was alongside. You're right.
Now, if I'm BEIBIS Mendoza, I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure I don't want this fight stopped right now.
Absolutely.
I would love to see this fight stop and take my chances with the scorecard.
So all the blood in the back of the head from Alvarez, above the eye of Mendoza, both caused by headbutts.
Yep, clashes of heads.
Step back.
And you're right, that is in a very bad place. There was a right hand by Alvarez, good shot.
See, the danger for Mendoza now is that could create a situation where he could get hit with something important. So I don't know if they don't want this fight stopped right now. But that would be a tactical maneuver on their part. That's assuming they think they'd win.
Whatever happens, it will change the tenor of the fight.
And I have to say, I've been critical here. The doctor should be in that corner right now looking at that eye. He's supposed to be there.
Here are the headbutts.
We'll take a look. And there, they clash heads right there. They locked up with their feet, and there is the clash of heads. And Alvarez, rightly so, going in on the attack after it happens.
That's when Elmo Adolf stopped things and sent Mendoza to the corner to have the doctor look at the cut. Both ruled as accidental headbutts.
I'm sorry. I saw the doctor. Yeah, let's go, pop.
But your point is well taken. Mendoza would do well to say, oh boy, this is really bad.
Let's go, break out of there, get out of there clean.
And of course, that's why, in truth, I mean, the doctor did not go in between rounds to look at that cut. He doesn't do that here for some reason. He doesn't have to be called up in between rounds. You can go up, you know, clearly. Then you have to be called up in during the round. But I'm astonished he's not going in and looking at these cuts during that time between rounds. He hasn't done it all night. And of course, this could have a serious impact on how this fight is fought now. That cut certainly will be bothersome to Mendoza.
So far, it is just now starting to bleed in the first 30 seconds or so of this round.
Alvarez getting more emboldened, landing 3 left hooks right in a row. Certainly, the tenor of this fight has changed a bit in the last couple of rounds. Alvarez using the jab so much more now.
Alvarez trying to turn this, I think, into a brawl. Well, we talked about the danger of the clash of heads. Sure enough.
And there's Mendoza establishing his own jab. And when he did that early in this fight for the first 5 rounds, it was effective.
Good right hand by Mendoza, but more of a trip on the part of Alvarez.
Let's go, break it clean, get out, step back, step back.
Mendoza's starting to go back to using that very effective left hook also in this round. And there's a little bit of black and blue area under the right eye now of Alvarez, courtesy of those left hooks. And if I'm Mendoza, I think I want to really try to put myself in position to land more of those hooks. I think it's one of his better power punches, and he's found a home for it. It's a very close round. The early part belonging to Alvarez, and then Mendoza coming back pretty effective.
I actually have Alvarez not as far out of this fight. I gave Mendoza the first 4 rounds. And I think this 5th round was a pivotal round. Could have gone either way. I gave it to Alvarez. I've given Alvarez the last 3, actually.
He could be close.
This is a very close round. All right, thanks very much, Chuck. We come now to round number 9. Mendoza in the red, Alvarez in the blue.
Time, get over there, get over there, get over there. Let's go with all this ice and water, Ruben. Too much, man,
off
too much.
the mat.
Let's go,
and there's still a piece, actually.
When Mendoza has used the jab effectively and gotten off with it early in rounds, as he's doing here, he's tended to win the rounds. When he doesn't use the jab early, it gives Alvarez a chance to get inside. A lot of blood coming from the back of the head of Alvarez. But again, it's not something that we would anticipate stopping this fight. But as you aptly pointed out early, it would look bad.
Yeah, it looks nasty. They haven't even bothered to put anything on in the last few rounds.
Mendoza's created a different tenor of this round than he did in the last, simply because he's shown just enough movement, has pumped out, 20 or 30 jabs already, some landing, some not, but they've kept Alvarez at bay.
And another low blow.
All right, let's go, Bob.
Elmowedov showing enough patience, but soon he may take a point away.
I don't think he'll take much more.
Both men now using the jab very effectively. Alvarez has started.
He clinches in this fight.
Isn't it interesting? Even though clashes of heads have been an issue, it's not as if these two men have been battling on the inside constantly.
They've done a very good job on that cut over the eye of Mendoza. It has not really caused him a problem. And right now, not bleeding at all.
Mendoza has controlled this round with his jab, mixed in some straight right hands, and really has probably won himself what could be a very important round in this fight.
I think so too. And he kind of went back to what brought him in the first place.
See, he's throwing the combinations, and that's what he did earlier. Gaining confidence as he goes here.
Yeah, throwing many more, as you said, combinations. Good round for Mendoza.
This is your round. Listen to me. We'll win the fight. You got to keep throwing punches. Throw combinations. Just keep throwing combinations. Keep going. Let's go. Take some water. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep putting pressure on them. Keep throwing rights. He wants to be the new champion of the world. That's the way to do it. You're winning the fight. Let's go. Don't stay. Be alive.
This, the 10th round. Winging left hand comes up a little short by Alvarez to start the 10th. Again, Mendoza just dictating how this fight is going to be fought. And just not allowing Alvarez to do what he wants.
And he's added a lot more foot movement than he had even early in the fight. And it's been a little bit of an issue now for Alvarez, who, because of the cut and a couple of good rounds in the middle portion of this fight, will come on. But now, stylistically, the fight is not suiting him at all. Good hook by Alvarez. It's just, I always thought from the beginning it would be hard to imagine Alvarez winning a fight that was contested in the middle of the ring. Although in this round, he has managed to land some telling blows. And you know why he has? The number of jabs from Mendoza in this round went down significantly from the previous round. So it's allowed Alvarez to pot shot him a little bit more and come in and land it.
Counter right hand from Alvarez after combination from Mendoza. now starting to move laterally again. Now Alvarez has him where he wants him, but wisely Mendoza ties him up.
Break it.
Mendoza has become enamored with other punches in this round, which is okay, but you have to use the jab to set them up. He's throwing more left hooks, more uppercuts. There, he did land a good combination that started with the left hook, but you're not going to do that as often as if you started with the jab. Can Mendoza do enough in the latter portion of this round to win it after Alvarez did some good work early?
Alvarez has to stay on the gas to stay in this round. Good jab by Alvarez. That's a good jab.
That punch has been really missing from his arsenal. Usually it's effective.
I thought Alvarez did enough to win.
He's done a remarkable job of training.
I think he has.
Vamos, ¿ok? 6 minutos. 6 minutos es todo. Vamos, Rosendo. Quiero todo, ¿ok? No guardes nada para después. No te eches para atrás.
Both men have been 12 before, once for Mendoza and twice, or 3 times for Alvarez, so they know what this 12th round is all about. As far as we head into 12 and the 11th, but they'll know what the 12th round is about when we get there. I was just warning you.
That was good.
That's a slip.
Keep the punches up, all right?
And again, Albo Adolf with a warning to keep the punches up. So the crowd, the corner of Alvarez wanted a knockdown, but there was no punch.
Nice little left hook on the inside by Alvarez.
Alvarez starting to find a home to that left hand.
Let's go, break out of there, break out, break.
And there's where the use of the jab is effective, when you use it to push your man back and then keep pushing him to land more punches. You know what hasn't happened one single time in this fight is Alvarez using that jab to push Mendoza against the ropes where he can then land a barrage of punches. The point, there's the jab from Alvarez. In the last couple of rounds, he has discovered it.
Yeah, it's been very effective for him. I thought, in fact, that's what won the last round for him.
And there you see Mendoza throwing the left hook. Early in the fight, he was able to land that punch on the inside. Not so for the last 5 or 6 rounds. This is why Rosendo Alvarez is a special fighter. Things haven't gone perfectly for him tonight, but he has kept his focus and his mental will, if you will, and now he's making some things happen. He's refused to give up mentally. This round, as in the last one, he's been able to land some pretty impressive punches.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he's really taking the fight away from Mendoza in the last couple of rounds.
32-year-old veteran who is making another defense of his WBA title. I'll show you why he's so good.
Let's go, get out of there. Break it clean, break clean.
The last round was a win for Alvarez, and he's certainly winning this one. It would put him in a possible situation where a decision could still come his way, and I'm pretty sure the next round is the 12th.
It is, I promise.
Thank you.
Sometimes they slip that 12th round in.
Who knew they would do that?
Respira profundo.
Breathe, breathe.
Rosendo, la pelea va empatada.
Come on, you got the fight.
Necesitamos este round, ¿ok?
We need this round.
Rosendo, tenemos trabajando bien mucho.
Keep working.
¿Ok? Tírala ahí, tírala ahí.
Just keep throwing.
Carajo, tú te mereces el triunfo.
You need this fight.
The last round. Touch glove.
Okay. Vamos, vamos. Let's go. Let's go. Go to the body. Come on. Show fight. Keep going. You're winning the fight. You're the best.
Let's go.
12th and final round. And I think, again, I think there could be very diverse scores on the part of the judges, because I think this, it depends on how you look at this fight.
Absolutely. A number of those rounds were close. There's been an ebb and a flow to this fight. And here Mendoza comes out in this round energized, using the jab and being a little bit more aggressive after a couple of rounds in which he has been on his heels more. Alvarez continues to use the jab, which he discovered a few rounds ago, and it's been a very effective weapon for him.
Wouldn't it be the ultimate irony to have this fight end in a draw? So you'd have a DQ, a split decision, and a draw.
Every possibility. And it is possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Now, I will tell you, on my card right now, and this is purely one man's viewpoint, I have it a 1-point fight for Mendoza right now. So if in fact Alvarez wins this round, I would have it as a draw.
I think it's very close. I'd probably have it a 2-point fight. Again, that shows you that we could be seeing some different scorecards. And Alvarez and Mendoza both faced that before against each other, and also Alvarez against Ricardo Lopez. Mendoza thought his power would get to Alvarez at some point. And early in the fight, showed some evidence of that. He landed some pretty good punches. Nice right uppercut by Mendoza. You get the feeling now that these men could fight 36 more rounds, and no one would go down. They would be at it. Good left hand by Mendoza. This, typical of this fight, a round that will not be easy for the judges to look at. Both men have done some good work in this round.
And I think the outcome of the fight could still be decided in the final 50 seconds here.
Easily.
And this is an extremely close round.
And a lot at stake for the 32-year-old Alvarez, who, if he loses this title now, if he does not get a rematch, he's at a point in his career where it could be an issue for him. Whereas clearly Mendoza, of course, a younger man, if he loses this,
let's go. Get out. Get out of there.
There could be other opportunities quicker for him.
Final 20 seconds of the fight. And this round has been as close as any in the fight. That's it. It's in the hands of the judges. Both declaring victory.
Well, both men not waiting even for the exit polls. They are jumping up and playing to the crowd and maybe playing to the judges too. You know, I've always said if he who jumps up quickest could in theory have some impact on that last round and how the judges end up scoring. Of course, it shouldn't be the case, but people are human.
Absolutely. And I gave the last round to Mendoza and easily could have gone the other way. I mean, it was right down to the last couple of seconds. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing.
You weren't influenced by the fact that Mendoza did get to the ring and jump.
He did, in fact.
Jump up quicker.
I did see that. I did see that.
But I'd like to think you're above that.
But you know, that said, I could see this being 3 or 4 points either way.
And I think we will see some divergent scoring in this. And was it as compelling about as we suspected it might be? Not quite. It was certainly skillfully fought. There were moments of good action. And you almost start to get the feeling these two men just don't want to see each other in the ring anymore.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true. In fact, one of them made the comment, that's what's wrong with this division, when we've got to fight each other 3 times.
Exactly, and both excellent fighters, to be sure.
And who knows, there may be a 4th.
Yeah.
You did it. You did it.
Could easily be. There have been times, you know, I mentioned Willie Pep and Sandy Saddler.
Yep.
They had, I believe, 4 fights, if I'm not mistaken, against each other. And you know what happens? The skill level diminishes as people, mostly as people continue. There are exceptions to the rule. Look at Ali Frazier, etc. But often when it's fighters like this, it's more difficult for them to make a pleasing fight as it goes on. We'll see. I'm as curious as the next guy.
Yeah, I am too. And as I said, I think it could be very diverse. So what's left then is to get to the decision. And Michael Buffer has that decision in his hands. And let's go to Michael Buffer and get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Sonny Ingram scores the bout 114 to 114. He has it even. Oscar Perez scores at 116 to 112. Russ Paramore scores at 116 to 112. All for the winner by unanimous, majority decision, and still champ, Rosendo El Bufalo Alvarez.
Well, now I gotta say that I didn't expect it to be 4 points that way.
No, the margin of victory, a 4-point win for Alvarez, to be frank, seems very excessive.